The shadows on my walls won't sleep. They keep on calling me, beckoning, beckoning, beckoning. Who knows what's right? My eyes keep getting thinner. My age has never made me wise, but I keep pushing on and on and on and on. Oh, there's nothing left to say now. Oh, there's nothing left to say now. Give it up, hey, hey, give it up now. Give it up, hey, hey, give it up now. Oh, there's nothing left to say now. Oh, there's nothing left to say now. Give it up, hey, hey, give it up now. Give it up, hey, hey, give it up now. Below my soul, I feel an engine collapsing as it sees the pain. If you could only shut it out, shut it out, shut it out, shut it out. I've been too far to see the end now. And even if my way is wrong, I just keep pushing on and on and on and on. Oh, there's nothing left to say now. Oh, there's nothing left to say now. Give it up, hey, hey, give it up now. Give it up, hey, hey, give it up now. Oh, there's nothing left to say now. Oh, there's nothing left to say now. Give it up, hey, hey, give it up now. Give it up, hey, hey, give it up now. I keep falling down. I keep falling down. Keep falling down. I keep falling down. If you could only save me, I'm drowning in the waters of my soul. There's nothing left to say. There's nothing left to say now. Give it up, hey, hey, give it up now. Give it up, hey, hey, give it up now. Oh, there's nothing left to say. There's nothing left to say now. Give it up, hey, hey, give it up now. Give it up, hey, hey, give it up now. Hello everyone. Today I wanted to let you know that I didn't really get too much done. Actually, I didn't get anything done on the coding aspect of the new improvements to the environment project. So what you're seeing running here is the previous running. I just thought it wouldn't be the same without Jeffery running into a wall and using every asset possible without any intelligent intuition or decisions being made. But what I have made progress on is the comic I was talking about on Saturday. I'm just going to pull up the stream here to make sure. see if there's any comments. So today I figured I would give you a taste of what I am working with in terms of the comic, and I wanted to sort of explain my artistic method a little bit, just to kind of um, be a little bit more open about what I exactly plan to do with this comic. Now, I'm not exactly sure how long I'm going to make this comic, but I am spending a decent amount of time on each panel. So that being the case, I can't imagine it will be too lengthy for each episode, but at the current moment, I could not tell you how long, whether it be one page or several pages. I'm not really sure. So what you can see here is an example of a couple panels I've already worked on. And what I'm going to do in this stream is simply draw the next panel and show you how I've been doing that. Now, this is in paint, so it doesn't look amazing, but I think I'm doing a pretty good job. I wanted to keep that aspect of hand-drawnness. I don't know what necessarily the word would be for that. I want it to still look hand-drawn, but I've been going in and cleaning up my hand drawings a little bit in a slow process of sort of scanning through it. So I am going to pull up a new page here, and so I'll just sort of explain what's happened so far. I'll pull up each individual panel so you get some context on what I'm working with. So here's the first panel. We see 3 people standing on a building, and then there is this massive squid monster that seems like it's about to attack the city. So this is just its own little panel. Then I can pull up the second panel, and we see your average everyday guy is pointing from the top of the building towards the squid, saying, "What the hell is that?" And he's pointing, so I had to signify the action like any comic book would. And then we get to the panels you saw at the beginning, which is the hero. This is Utility Man preparing himself to answer that question. So I am going to pull up a clean slate here, and we're going to work on the next panel of this comic. So I want to pull up a new page. And so what I've been doing is I've just been starting the drawing, and then later I put the box around it. That's usually a good practice, because you want the drawing to be as big as you want it to be, not confined to some predetermined rectangle that you don't necessarily know is the correct size and whatnot. Now, I did find that if you are using paint for anything, which I'm not sure why you would, you should use the pencil tool, because the paintbrush tool actually uses some automatic shading functions and whatnot, and so when you go and add in color later, it actually screws up, because then the border is a little bit it's a little bit weird. So it's hard to deal with. But here I just wanted to I'm trying to get a picture of what I want the next panel to be. So we're gonna have Utility Man, and his line in this panel is going to be, "Don't you just love the smell of calamari in the morning?" Or which wouldn't really make sense because it's a squid and not an octopus. So I might tweak that, but it could also just be his overconfidence. I need to think that out a little bit, but so I just need to brainstorm a little bit. So I can either have a zoomed out picture of that shows the squid again, and maybe a little bit closer up than the previous picture, than the first picture, so that you can see the characters a little bit more. But I'm thinking it might be better to be a little bit closer up and just having utility man and this average everyday guy in the shot, maybe with Narco Lady slightly out of the frame. I want to actually go back and look at the first frame. So just judging by size, we have this person on the left is actually the shortest, and then the people on the right are slightly taller. So I think that this person on the left would probably be Narco Lady, if we're trying to be relatively reasonable with the sizing from the previous thing. I mean, I could just edit this to be however I want it to be, but I think it'll be better to go with how it is here. So I think that that will be what we can do. I think what we'll be able to do is have, if we have both utility man and this average everyday guy in the shot, then I think then we'll be able to have both of them say something. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna go with. So we're gonna sort of box it off here, and then move on from there. So that's the goal. And then so we're gonna grab a new page here, and so first off, they are on trying not to lean out of the picture. I don't have the camera up on the screen. I can probably check that if I'm down here. Yeah, that's in the picture. So I will just keep working on this. So first off, we have to have the building here, so we're gonna have just kind of like a flat line. And maybe now that we're close up, we can see some 3D aspects to it. I think that would make sense. Actually, we said that Narco Lady was going to be cut out of the picture slightly, so I'm gonna actually we will have the 3D aspects, but not that significantly. It won't be that zoomed out. So yeah. So the people won't be standing right on this line. They'll be up a little bit, and then we'll be able to work from there. Okay, so I'm going to grab the. All right. So first off, we need to draw the characters individually. So I'm going to just draw everybody in just pencil, and then we'll work from there. So we said Narco Lady was going to be halfway in the picture, so she's kind of like this, and we'll use her as a standard for size, because she's supposed to be smaller than everyone else. So I feel like the shoulder is actually slightly too significant. Grab the eraser. So it's the longest process is going to be the actual drawing itself. So oh, I forgot I'm using white. So what I found is it's okay if I have all these scratch marks in here, because I'm using paint and not just drawing on paper. I can actually go in and remove those scratch marks manually and kind of do some more detail here and there um, close up. So we said that Narcolady was here. We're going to have Utility Man in the middle, and then this businessman over to the side. Um, so I think that I was going to call that guy Johnson, just, but the joke was going to be that it's not actually his name. But I'm not sure. For right now, we'll just call him the businessman or whatever. He's supposed to just be like a tenant of the building. So I'm going to work on utility man. So he's going to be taller. So we'll just start with his vest here. And this is kind of an easier drawing of the characters because it's behind them. Now this is going to make I might make this a little skinnier, just because at the moment it's making Narcolady look extremely small. I don't want her to look too small, although she is supposed to be shorter. But that, yeah, I need to mess around with this a little bit. Alright. I think that's a better height. And I gotta remember, this vest itself is not actually that long because the rest of his shirt is here. It's a little difficult to get the proportions right on the first try for me. I think this is something that will come with practice, but I need to, obviously, does that arm look a little more realistic? I think it does. Yeah, because the other one looks a little bit long. I think that one actually looks short, though. I'm going to have to toy around with this. This, like I said, this is just going to be kind of my artistic method. So it won't be the most amazing of streams that I've had, but I think that it will be, at least I hope that it'll be somewhat entertaining. I can pop up some small talk in the meantime, though. I was actually, right before I started this stream, I was trying to get something randomly started on Twitter, and because I was randomly thought of a new type of joke today, and I was saying it a lot, so I might need to adjust this, see how this works. I'm trying to see if I can get this, because obviously his feet should be where Narcolady's feet are, but I don't want him to be significantly taller than. I mean, he's supposed to be taller than her, but not like extremely tall. Might be able to work with that. I'll just continue drawing the leg from here and see if that comes out to what I'm thinking of. So like I was saying, I was trying to get something started on Twitter. So actually, if you're watching and you have a Twitter page, you can go join me on that. The joke is that's what they used to call me in college. So I was trying to um, get the hashtag passed around a bit. Um, Somewhat like that's what she said. So actually, I don't want to color that in because I'm going to color it in on manually with other colors later. So like I said, it's pretty much equivalent to that's what she said. So there was a situation today where I said sizzling meat, and then I said that's what they call me in college. That's what they used to call me in college, and from there I just kept saying it. So um, if you get bored, then you can go on Twitter and use that hashtag. Um, I don't know. I'm not really expecting too much to come out of it, but you never know. It's always good. Any networking is good networking. So um, I gotta get his bandana. That makes him look like a duck. I'm going to redo that. Actually, I kind of have him facing to the left a little bit, so we're gonna put the bandana there, and then his hair is gonna be kind of like that. And obviously, I'm gonna have to fix this a little bit when I zoom in. But I just want to get the general shape of things before I move in closer. Alright, and so then we have Narco Lady, we have Utility Man, and now we need the Businessman. So we'll use Utility Man for scale and get his feet down here. And I mean, if this is your starting and end points, a lot of things could come out of this area here. But we're going to assume a businessman is going to rise from these rubbles. I'm trying to give these shoes some depth, but it might be better just to leave them as if they're being viewed immediately from behind. So I'm attempting to draw. Actually, from the picture I had previously, he was wearing sort of just a regular button-up shirt. So that would mean that his shirt's tucked in. There's a lot of things you have to think about when you gotta keep the continuity, right? So as opposed to Utility Man, who has his shirt kind of just over his shorts, which actually the shorts should have pockets on them, like so. And like that. And then that's going to make his head a little bit small. So if we're going right with the proportions of Utility Man, I think that would make sense. And so maybe he should be in the same position he was previously, which would have his hand up on his head. And then his neck comes down to here, and he's got his collar. So this is fairly crude, but he's got a belt and some pockets. And so this is the general look of what we're going with. So we've got our businessman here, we've got Utility Man, and we've got Narco Lady, who's slightly smaller. So from here, I need to decide whether I want something in the background, but I can add that in later. For right now, just for time reasons, I'm going to just go straight to the zooming in part. So we're going to zoom in a lot, actually. And since these are fairly crude images, we need to make these into more specific lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the white pen as opposed to the eraser, because the white pencil actually gets significantly smaller. It's actually a pixel per click, so it actually gets right up in where you need to be without. I mean, obviously, I'm going to mess up occasionally and hit something I don't need to, but what's nice about it is it can hit every single slot like you need, every single little pixel like you need it to, as opposed to the if you look at the eraser at this magnitude, it's significant. So we can't deal with that actually. Actually, right now I can put the big rectangle in. Now that we know the general size we're working with, so just make sure. I'm pretty sure everything's still on the screen, right? So I'm going to take our shapes, just grab a rectangle, a black rectangle, and I'm going to go down here actually, aligned with the building. So what's nice about paint is I can grab this and pull it in there. I'm actually going to pull it like that. Now that I think of it, I could probably just extend it so that Narcolady is completely in the shot. But I don't know. I kind of like this specific. It's keeping the focus on the characters that are talking, which I feel like is important. I'm leaving a little more space for words when necessary, and then I might want to cut this in a little bit so that there's a little more definition to this guy's body. But I can actually work on that when I'm close up. So I'm gonna zoom back in here. It's funny to see the stream going at the same time because it's actually pretty far behind. But that isn't a problem at the moment due to the fact that no one is commenting. But I wouldn't expect anything too significant on this kind of video. So I need to define her hair a little bit more. Also finish off her head at the top because it needs to connect just for fill purposes. Not the name fill, but the tool. I think I'm gonna erase this entire section right here and just kind of hand draw it since I'm up close now. Okay, that doesn't look that much better. I can actually zoom in a little bit more, but now what I need to do is I need to make these kind of like strands of hair seem more prominent. So I can go in and actually I liked that line there. This line can be removed, but these can be taken out. That can be taken out. I didn't want to do that. The one problem with putting the border in now is every time you accidentally touch the border, it removes part of it. So here I need to finish off her shirt. And then it will be down here. So I just need to go in here. Oh, that was her breast. I removed it, but
a little too early. Um, so here I'm just going in and I need to remove all the little scratch marks and extra lines that aren't necessary. So obviously she does need her neck, but it doesn't need to be that thick of a line. I'm gonna take this out actually. Um, and then her arm needs to be slimmed down a bit. And so what I find is when I go in and originally sketch it, it kind of gives me an idea of what I'm working for, but it doesn't necessarily mean that my final product's going to look like that. Um, so you'd be surprised how well you saw the example picture I put up at the start. It comes out to be fairly comic book looking, if that's a word. Um, so we need to finish out that. And I'm just trying to give an impression that she has two legs. Um, but she doesn't need to have that significant of a line in between them. Now, every once in a while, it's just nice to back out and check. Now, okay, so um, this is an interesting thing. Is that now it kind of looks bizarre now that I've taken all the lines out. So I need to uh, mold some things here and there. So it's good to know. I'm gonna just zoom in so I can see all of her, but I want to, oh, that's still on white. I want to just go in and kind of sculpt. And I'm actually going to make her slightly taller because if you look at the lateral plane that she's on, her feet could actually move down slightly. So I'm just going to get rid of that foot altogether. And then we're going to go in and make this whole leg kind of like a I was going to say flanned out, but that doesn't make sense. Fanned out. That's the word. It's fan. So I'll just go in and scratch some of this out. And I'm actually going to leave that little tail of the shirt hanging out a little bit so we get some more dimension to the picture. So we'll go back to the arm here. It doesn't seem like there's too much we can do. You gotta remember that all this is going to be fairly insignificant when we zoom out. But I want to kind of make the hands. So I'm trying to picture. So this would be the inside of her hand, actually. Um, Now we need to bring this back out and just get rid of these extra lines where we don't need them. And so that's starting to look a little better. And now I just need to go clean up the pants a little more. These are supposed to be kind of like a sleepwear long pants, so like pajamas, just because she's constantly falling asleep. So I just gotta go in and scratch this thick line out a little bit more. Oh, Now, I don't want it to be disconnected anywhere because I'm going to go in and color these. So obviously, you know how a fill function works. It needs to be a complete uh, a complete circuit for it to work. So this shirt, I think I'm going to go with purple, and then light blue for the pants. But I'm going to draw in lines that are this darker blue to kind of give it that pajama look. So if we back out here, I think that actually looks kind of cool without her foot being that visible. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of barely make the slipper visible on the bottom. Oh, I'm still rocking the blue. Gotta pull back out to the black. Now that's a little bit more prominent than I was thinking, but we'll see how it looks. No, that looks pretty good. So actually, we have to remember that Narcolady is working with her mask on, so she's going to have the strap of that mask, the band coming around here, and then maybe be able to see it a little bit. But we'll just keep that black. And then maybe just for detail's sake, I'll put a line, like a strand of hair over top of it, which means I'll have to go in with the white and kind of edit that back. I want to make this band fairly straight though, or fairly complete. So I'll do that, and I think that's starting to look a little better. Her hair was going to be brown, so if we get that color going, yeah, it looks pretty good actually. So she is going to be just gotta clean up the little extra marks here and there. I cleaned up a little too much. So if I'm starting to push for time a little bit, I think I will call it, just because I don't want to go too long on this. But I think that I'm starting to get the process across. So you see that I go in and I make the original drawing, and then after that I have to clean it up a bit. But then when I am able to come back out to 100%, you can see that it's a fairly reasonable drawing from a distance. So even though it doesn't look amazing up close, you get that hand-drawn aspect to it. So from the scratchy arm and the leg and whatnot that we had, we start to get a picture of a person that actually makes sense and kind of fits the character we were describing in the previous stream. So I'm just going to actually I think that adequately described my process. So I think I'm probably going to call it here. But I'm going to finish this panel up. This panel is probably going to take like another hour to finish, and if I'm not talking, then it will go a lot faster. But I think I got the point across. So Yes, I am still on the screen, so that's good. And Jeffrey is still running into the wall, but, you can't really ask for too much. But I guess he got excited when I said his name. He started shooting. So, I want to thank you guys for watching. I will most likely be streaming on Saturday. I think I'll be at my girlfriend's apartment, but maybe I can get her on the stream. I don't know. So, like I said, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll hopefully see you on Saturday. And if you're bored, check out the thing on Twitter. But that's it. All right, bye.